In this video, I want to talk about a bunch of different types of graphs and how we can tell those graphs from their equations. So let's go ahead and start. So everything's kind of color-coded so you can see what's what. But a vertical line is something that looks like this, right? The yellow line. And all vertical lines are of the form x equals some number. Let's just call it a in this case, but it doesn't need to, it would typically be like x equals 2 or x equals 3. In this case, it's x equals 3, right? Because we're right at 3. So in this case, it's x equals 3. Okay. Next, we have horizontal lines. All horizontal lines look like this in some way, and they're of the form y equals b. So they all are y equals some number. In this case, y equals -2. Okay, so a line with a negative slope is of the form y equals mx plus b, where m is negative, right? M is negative. So like this pink line here would be, so let's just figure out what it is. So the y-intercept is 2, and the slope is down 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is y equals -2, 6, x plus 2, or you could reduce that to y equals -1/3 x plus 2. But lines with a negative slope are always going to have y equals mx plus b, or if you might have to simplify to get it to look like that, but the m is always going to be negative, and that's always going to be a line with a negative slope, which slopes down as we look from left to right. So lines with a positive slope, I'm not sure why those are in that order, seems a little silly, but so a line with a positive slope is a line that goes up as you go from left to right, and those should be of the form y equals mx plus b, where m is positive. And in this case, we would have y equals, now the slope is up 1 over 2, so 1/2 x minus 1, right? That's down 1. And again, you might have to simplify it to get y by itself to get it into that form, but it would always be in that general form. Next, we have a parabola that opens up. So this light blue one is our example of a parabola that opens up. This one's is y equals x squared. But in general, parabolas might come in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And if a is positive, then it's going to open up. And again, you might need to simplify to get it into this form, but if that leading coefficient is positive, then it's a parabola that opens up. And then the opposite is true for a parabola that opens down. The leading coefficient is negative when a parabola opens down. So it's y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is negative. And in this case, I want to go ahead and find the equation of this parabola, but I want to do it by in the form x. So this is another form for a parabola, y equals x minus h squared plus k. So h is the x coordinate of the vertex. So the x coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is the x coordinate of the vertex. And and then since it opens down, it's going to be negative. And so this would be an up opening parabola. A down opening parabola, it could have another number in front here, but this one's just a regular x squared parabola, but it opens down, so it's negative. And then the y coordinate of the vertex is 1, 2, 3, negative 3. So negative 3. So in this case, that's the equation. But in general, anytime you have a parabola, it has an x squared, and if it opens up, it's positive in front of the x squared, and if it opens down, it's negative in front of the x squared. So these are all different types of graphs that you should be able to know what the graph is going to basically look like just by looking at the function. Or you should know what the function is basically going to look like just by looking at the graph.